check out the awesome new Lernaean Terminators for Alpha Legion.
Spiking bits.
What's up, hobby maniacs? I'm Baer, and today we are unboxing and building the new Terminators for the Alpha Legion. Man, I tell you what, these things look amazing all painted up, but of course we're going to show you how cool they look model wise before we get them built up and everything like that. Obviously we know Forge World has come a long ways from its hand sculpting days. Everything's done digitally and such, and you can tell between Alpharius and these new Lernaean Terminators here with all these scales, it's just pretty cool looking. Now they go, ooh, here's a 360, let's spin it. Now these go for 60 pounds. Wow, look at that. That is so cool. I really like the metallic look here with all of the scales and everything on that on Forge World site. It's pretty incredible stuff, and of course it looks like they have a Volkite weapon of some sort. No real access to bolters, which is kind of a shame because I think they can take Bane Strike rounds, which gives them AP3 in the Horus Heresy game. Oh, conversion beamer. That looks pretty interesting. Alright, well, we'll go over the rules here shortly, but there you go. 80 pounds from the UK. That's about $80 US. Let's add them to cart and take a look. And poof, Terminators appear, the sneaky Alpha Legion. So they come in the new standard Forge World box right there with a little guide to priming and painting. If you remember, if you ever have a problem with Forge World, this is gonna be your ticket to getting it fixed. They're gonna want to know a date and a checked by and such. They'll ask for that. And it's also a guide to working with resin and all sorts of different things. Remember, don't breathe this stuff in. It is very bad for you. You will not get it out of your lungs. Use some sort of breathing protection there. Instruction manual. How many pieces do we got? Not too many, actually. That doesn't look too bad, of course. We've got very few parts, about 3 parts per arm, including shoulder pads, 1 head. Looks like the torsos are together with the legs, which is really cool. Conversion beamer, or you can go all Volkite, and a power axe. Looks like 2 different varieties. One has a little bit more exquisite tapering on the axe head right there. Okay, digging that. So not too bad. And there's a better look at them right there. So let's look at the models themselves. So I'm going to zoom in the camera a little bit. So they come all protected with a little bit of foam in there. Of course, the bases are going to be the traditional kind of deal there. Now we already went ahead and scraped these down and washed them up in our sonic cleaner to get all that resin material off of there. But here you can see, let's just grab this real quick and take a close look. Wow, that is very stunning. Very stunning. All the scales are individually pieces of the model. I mean, the detail is so crisp. Look at all the studs on there all around the top of the cowl and everything. Look at the segmented plating on the back here. Oh, wow. Very cool. And of course, no lack of cat hair wherever we are in the studio. Very fresh. Now remember, these guys, I'm just gonna take a look at a couple of different sample parts here. Here's a Volkite and here's the head. Ooh, let's put the head in here and take a look real quick. Just want to see before we get them all together and give you the gotchas. Okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. And then the Volkite, very cool, very well done. Got the coiling at the top. Here's some of the scales. Now, personally, I would have liked to see more hydras on here because Lernaean is actually the place that the Hydra was. The Lernaean Hydra was one of the trials or tasks of Hercules in mythology, believe it or not. So Hercules had to kill the Lernaean Hydra, and that's where it came from. Of course, it was just shortened. You know, the 9-headed Hydra was eventually just shortened to Hydra, but that's where all this comes from. And of course, we know what the Hydra has to do with the Alpha Legion, of course. But man, that's just really neat to see. Okay, let's get one of these guys put together. We'll compare them up to our Alpharius Primarch right here and kind of give you some ideas and thoughts and go over the rules a little bit, as much as I can, in Horus Heresy as well. Well, those went together pretty swimmingly. I'll be honest. I was amazed how easy they were to go together. A quick gotcha though. You want to look for the little overlapping plates. Those go in the front as opposed to the non-overlapping plates, which go in the back. Now, this is a modified pattern of cataphracti armor, so if you're used to working with that in the past, it shouldn't be that much of a task to put these together. Like I said, 3 parts for the arm, for each arm, and then the little head poops right into there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Now, size-wise, I mean, obviously it's a gorgeous model, but it pales in comparison to their Lord and Savior, Alpharius himself right there, which is more than a head and shoulders. Well, definitely at least a shoulders in size above them right there. And then their brother plastic Terminators there, you can kind of see they are definitely comparison in size, but way more detailed for $80 US. I think this is $60. And then compared to a normal Space Marine, well, it's about the same size. I don't know why that is. Those are the new sculpts on the Devies. And then our double wounded Primaris, which may or may not exist in the same universe or time period, depending on how you look at it, right there. So that gives you some ideas on their size. Let's check out their rules. So rules wise, you can find them, of course, in the Legion Astartes Age of Darkness Legion's rules book right there. You can see at the bottom. This is the red book, air quotes, that collects just the Legion rules. All the generic units are in a different book. And then, of course, you got the Age of Darkness rule book that came out last holiday season to help you get back caught up to what they like to call, 7.5 edition, or now it's Horus Heresy edition. Either way, love it. So there's special rules for the Legion itself. You're going to find all of that right here in the section there. The very last one listed in the book. They have some cool abilities. Again, I'm not an expert on Heresy. If you want to know more about Horus Heresy, obviously check out Radio Free Istvan. They're a great podcast with a ton of dedicated folks on their team, and they've got a Facebook chat. You can get into it on their Patreon. It's just a great group of folks. They do all sorts of cool hobby stuff. Every year they're at Adepticon. And man, let me tell you what, that community is completely different from the normal or more mainstream 40K community. These folks, they will not put anything on the table unless it's painted. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I love seeing that. Either way, the Lernaean Terminator squad is, of course, 225 points right here. It's kind of one of those things. These are the specific Terminators for the Alpha Legion. Of course, they have a little bit better of an ability. They have the Implacable Advance, which makes them scoring, for 7.5 edition. Basic Terminator stat line. They don't have access to the Bane Strike rounds because they don't have bolters, but they do have the Volkite Charger, and they do have a conversion beamer like we saw earlier. They can take some cool transports right there. I don't know. I can't tell you if they're good in Horus Heresy or not. They definitely look cool, and they could stand in for a number of different things, including a Chaos Lord and Terminator armor in normal games of Warhammer 40K for the Chaos side of things. But as far as if you need these guys in Horus Heresy, if you're running Alpha Legion, I couldn't necessarily tell you. Again, it's not my purview anymore. But I tell you what, they do have some very cool looking models in here. Of course, we've seen Dynat. I don't think Exodus is out. Maybe he is. I do remember seeing that cool head there. And then, of course, Alpharius as well. So lots of cool content. If you're looking to get into Alpha Legion, they've got a lot of backstory, and they only share these special rounds with one other Legion, which I think is the S-Horse's Legion right there. Could be wrong, but I believe that is the case right there. So very cool stuff either way, but that's where you can find the rules. Again, not 100% super solid on their particular rules there, but it is what it is. So that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed our unboxing and build of the Lernaean Terminators for the Alpha Legion from Forge World. $80 US, available now on their site.